What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another show. So, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey has officially taken over the internet, and it has easily become one of the most polarizing, fiercely debated movies of the entire year. But even before this film dropped in theaters, the culture war discourse on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, pretty much everywhere was in absolute meltdown. People were aggressively screaming about the race swaps. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of race swapping. We've talked about it thousands of times here on the channel. They talked about the absence of native Greek actors. I don't think that's pretty much a big deal. I mean, we've seen, what's that guy's name? Sam Worthington. He's been in a lot of those Greek movies, Clash of the Titans, Wrath of the Titans, right? And there weren't many Greek or native Greek actors in those, but nobody seemed to give a fuck about those, right? We forgot about those, so I don't think it's a big deal. But they were also throwing around accusations that Nolan went woke. So I also saw on Instagram a lot of people calling for boycotts before even seeing a single frame of this movie. So before I get into more, guys, this is going to be a spoiler-free warning. I'm going to try my best to talk about as much as I can without spoiling anything. That way you guys don't get too pissed off. So if you like this kind of content, like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get into it. So guys, I walked into this movie with an open mind because I wanted to judge it objectively. I'm a fair man, and I call things exactly as I see them. So let's answer the internet's burning questions. Did Nolan mess this up? Is this the worst movie of the year? And my answer to both of those are absolutely not. Guys, this is a very good movie, but it is deeply plagued by massive self-indulgent style choices that started defining Nolan's modern filmography. Let's just get straight into the facts. So let's start off with the casting red flags. Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy. Now, people were completely losing it because she was cast to play Helen of Troy. And you guys know I've talked about it thousands of times on this channel before. I'm not a fan of race swapping. That's like casting a white guy to play Black Panther or whatever other black characters are out there, Static Shock, whatever the case. You guys get it. She is on screen for only 2 minutes. Okay, I will say that I do think that she's a talented actress. I understand the backlash, but given her presence in the film, I mean, she's only on screen for about 2 minutes, and I don't think that it negatively impacts the film at all. Was it the wrong casting choice? 100%. Now let's turn into Elliot Page. The internet was completely up in arms about her also being cast to play a soldier. Now, if you guys know a little bit about the lore, you won't be disappointed about what happens to this character later. Do I think this was a miscast? Absolutely, 100%. And then we have to talk about Travis Scott. I mean, why is Travis Scott in this movie? I mean, in the beginning, you see his face, you know, when the movie opens, and it's very distracting because you know it's Travis Scott and he couldn't act his way out of a paper bag. He chants for a little bit, then vanishes. It's weird as fuck, but it doesn't kill the film. And we have to talk about Zendaya. Look, guys, the Zendaya fatigue is setting in. All right, she's in almost everything. We can swap her out for somebody else. She does not need to be in this film. I get why she's in this film, and you guys will get it as well once you go and see this movie, but I mean, come on. She shouldn't have been in this movie. I do think Tom Holland is fine in this movie. Not really much to say about it. But the next big thing when we talk about this movie is the modern dialogue and the horror elements. So this movie is kind of weird because hearing characters in a mythical epic using modern words like daddy or daddy's coming home, I mean, it's incredibly jarring at first. It lacks the poetic feel that you would think the movie would have because it just feels completely out of place. But once you kind of get in sync with the pacing and the movie and how it's moving on, I mean, you kind of adapt to it. but it's really fucking weird. It really feels out of place. But where this movie truly shines is when Nolan leans heavy into the horror aspect. Now, there are some people, I think, overreacting a bit by calling the Odyssey a full-blown horror movie, but that's not it. It's like these episodic trials, and they are really creepy as hell. I mean, the Cyclops sequence is a technical masterpiece. The way the creature moves and the visceral sounds that it makes, it instantly invokes that kind of feeling of dread, instant dread. You know, people are comparing it to the Shy Guy from the SPC lore. I mean, it is spectacular. It's a standalone piece of horror, definitely. But combine that with the disgusting, brilliant execution or executed transformation sequence with Circle and a bloody, brutal clash against literal giants. All those kind of things just kind of work together well. And I think that part was well executed. But fairness dictates we look at the cons, because this movie has one massive structural failure, and it is the pacing. It's an absolute wreck. I mean, it's neck break pacing. Nolan is trying to cram a whole bunch of things, this cosmic mythical epic, into a standard 2 to 3 hour runtime movie, and he rushes through the narrative at blinding speeds. Because he moves from one iconic scene to the next with zero breathing room, you never really have the time to build up the emotional connection that you should be feeling for some of the characters, right? Characters enter and exit at the blink of an eye. For example, well, I don't want to talk about this. No, well, all right, fuck it. Spoiler. I think her name is Silka. She has a cool all CGI kind of design going on, which is a rare choice for Nolan, but the creature gets virtually zero screen time. The entire arc with the nymph Calypso is completely ruined because their relationship it's not shown to us. It just aggressively kind of explains how all these things happen through hollow exposition dumps, and then they just kind of move, right? The pacing is completely off. This is the exact self-indulgent problem that plagued Oppenheimer. Nolan is utterly obsessed with time and cutting non-linear between the past and present and future, that he strips the emotional weight right out of his storytelling. And he relies on massive clunky exposition dumps to fill in the gaps, leaving incredibly talented actors like Matt Damon forced to read flat or robotic lines that kind of just explain the plot to the audience. I don't really like that, but you can definitely feel it in this movie. But is this a good movie? Ultimately, it's I think it's good. I think it's has some peak cinematic sequences connected by awkward writing and flat exposition, but it doesn't reach the pinnacle of what Nolan, I think, is known for, or what he can do. But I do think that this movie is really good, technically brilliant. I will say that. But you should experience this in IMAX. I mean, there's a part in there where they're fighting giants. I mean, that's pretty dope as well. I do think that this movie will make a lot of money. I don't think it's gonna bomb. A lot of people are saying that because of the casting choices and the backlash that this movie is getting. But I think that is pretty good. I think that it worked out pretty good. It's decent. That's all I gotta say. I want to know what you guys have to think about this movie. Did the modern dialogue pull you right out of the ancient setting? Are you guys suffering from Zendaya fatigue? Are you gonna boycott this movie? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.